we've got 2 or 3 other exclusives that we've negotiated that will be exclusive to eXp that are total game changers. The fact that we are the largest single real estate brokerage in the country gives us certain privileges and creates certain advantages that you just can't get anywhere else.
And welcome everybody to the eXp State of the Union address. I'm Brent Gove, your host today, and excited to have Glenn Sanford, the founder of eXp, Michael Valdes, the president of eXp Global Growth Operations, John Sy, our new president from Canada, slipping in for the State of the Union, and of course, one of eXp's most successful agents in the world, Mr. Jay Kinder. He's pretty much like Babe Ruth around this place. So Jay, good to have you here. Glenn, Michael, John, John Sy.
Hey, Brent.
How was your flight?
Can't hear anybody, sorry.
There, Glenn?
It was good. Yeah, no, we had a nice flight in. We're actually at the airport, and we got on Wi-Fi, so life is good.
You made it. Thank you, Michael, for making it. Good to see you too.
How are you, my friend? I can hear you now. Sorry, I had wrong settings. Hello, everybody. Look at this amazing group of people you brought together. Over 1,000 people here.
Oh, yeah. And it's growing by the second. So this is great. And of course, John Sy, the brand new president for eXp Canada. John, welcome. Good to have you on here as a surprise guest.
Thank you, Brent. I snuck in.
Yes, you did. I like the I like the sweatsuit look. I like it. You look like Rocky, man. All right. Well, that we're going to get started. We're going to start with recently on Inman News, Mike Del Preet was there. He's an independent third party. He's kind of a tech genius. He analyzes real estate brokerages worldwide, and he had some very interesting things to say about all companies, especially eXp. And Jay Kinder is going to break that down for you. Jay, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so this is what I found really interesting. It got me extremely excited. I'm really happy to even be on here and sharing this with you guys. But when you look at independent analysts, it's always interesting, when you hear a company giving their own reports of what they say is going great in the company, and you'll see snapshots of other companies taking periods of time where you're not looking at the bigger picture of really what's happening and the overall comparison. And in that particular slide, the adjusted EBITDA, eXp is the only company that's profitable out of all the companies that are reported for Q1 of 2023. And I think that says a lot. And really, when you look at the other companies, the 2 fastest growing companies in the past 5 years, as we all know, were Compass, who had a different strategy, and eXp. And we certainly are profitable. When you look at what has happened with Anywhere, which is your Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, ERA, and Coldwell Banker, certainly very unprofitable during a shift in the marketplace. And I think we all knew what was going to happen with the eXp and the ability to be agile and really continue to grow and be profitable during this time where there's a little uncertainty in the marketplace. I think overall the markets are down across the country, an average of around 20%. A projection of 4.2 to 4.6 million in home sales this year. And agents are feeling that. I mean, we talk to agents every day. They're struggling, the things that they're doing that weren't working. Yet eXp has found a way to maintain its profitability through this time where other companies are struggling to do that. I think the next slide, which was the adjusted EBITDA per transaction, this shows, again, per transaction, eXp is at a profit of $130 per transaction. Once again, looking at some of the legacy companies and even Compass, as much as $1,900 they're losing per transaction. So that tells you that there's massive change coming in some of these companies and certainly some uncertainty. It's really hard. What I find is really hard to add value to agents when you don't have any money to do it with. When you're, especially if you're institutionally bound with a lot of investors as publicly held companies, you certainly don't have a lot of room to add value, to innovate, and to really add value to the agent base and continue to come up with ways that you can make the entire process better for both the consumer and the agent. The next slide shows the transactions per agent. I thought this was also interesting. We're in the number 2 spot. Keep in mind, Compass Real Estate, their business model was buying already producing agents. So it doesn't surprise me that they're at the top of that list. But if you take that away, eXp is right there. So production per agent, this is again just proving that this model has been what's better for agents in terms of productivity. The support that agents get here, the collaboration that happens between all of us, again, proving that the agents are better off being at eXp. I'd love to see that slide. And then the last one I was just going to share was the agent variance. And so I think this is important right now when times get hard and companies are pulling back and trying to figure out ways to save money, or in some cases tax their agents more. The agent variance at eXp is less than what it is for other agents. And so that just shows that, our agents are only down an average of 7%, while some of the companies are down as much as 14%. The agents' productivity, I think they're comparing Q3 of last year to Q3 of this year. I believe that might not be accurate, but it's still that the agents are continuing to, and I think, I give this credit to the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes of all the agents that are top producing agents that are out there sharing, collaborating, giving back to the other agents in the organization, always focused on what's best for the agent and what's best for the company. And this really truly is just a great example of why eXp is the place that you want to be if you want to thrive in real estate. And, I made a point, in the post that I made around this was that, this doesn't take into consideration the $240 million that eXp gave out in equity and in revenue share over the last year as well. So certainly, I think you take all of that into consideration. The company's winning, the agents are winning, the investors are winning. It was a really good example of why things are going so well at eXp.
I love it. I would love Glenn to chime in. I know he loves numbers, stats. That came from Mike Delpreet. And you could find those slides and more at MikeDP.com. Independent third party. He's not with eXp. Those were his slides. He's a huge contributor to Inman News. But Glenn, any thoughts off what Jay just shared?
Yeah, it's really important to think about, when you think about longevity in any company, not just real estate, but any company, there's a need for it to ultimately, break even, make a little bit of money or more. Obviously companies, when they get to true scale, they can really do well. But in order to actually have the money to innovate, you look, the companies, three that lost the most. And so I think that was Douglas Elliman, Compass, and Anywhere specifically. I mean, they've got, in the case of Anywhere, they've got a ton of debt. There's a whole bunch of covenants about what they can and can't do. They're basically, they can only make pivots in a pretty narrow margin. Otherwise, their, investors, bondholders, et cetera, will sort of declare them in default, et cetera. So you think about how important it is to have an asset-light model, which we do. Even corporately, like we're the only brokerage brand, I think, of any of them listed that actually doesn't even have a corporate physical infrastructure. And so our ability to actually operate entirely virtual, which is also a pretty important piece of the puzzle as well. One of the things I went back and thought about this is in 2009, when we started, we said, if we're going to ask agents to do something that's totally novel in the industry, which is not to go to an office, and we've sort of recognized that high-speed internet, on your cell phone and every place else, is now allows agents to be totally mobile. But it'd be somewhat hypocritical for us to actually maintain physical offices and say, yeah, you don't need offices, but we can have offices. And so you think about that, allows us to continue to keep our costs low, but it also allows us to actually be closer to our agents and brokers in the field, because we're not in some ivory tower somewhere all kibitzing with each other, talking about how we're going to conquer the world from that place. We're actually in the field using the same tools and technologies that we roll out to agents, the exact same tools and technologies that we use ourselves to stay connected, to innovate, to continue to do things. And that just gives us so many advantages, and that's, shows up in the financials. One of the things that I insisted on in the last downturn, which was in 2008, 2009, was how do we build a profitable real estate brokerage model that's profitable in both good times and bad times? And as many of you've heard me talk about, at the time, and it's a technical term I use for it, but in 2009, the market sucked. Just saying, the market, it sucked, and these things go in cycles. Every 10 years, plus or minus, you look in the history of time, every 10 years, plus or minus a few years, the market will suck. And if you're designed with a whole bunch of fixed bricks and mortar expenses, there's no way you can weather that storm. You will be fired. You will merge, or you will go out of business in bad times. We saw it with Borders. We saw it with all these other companies in the last downturn. We're seeing it again in this downturn. We're seeing, offices close their doors, merge. I mean, we're getting calls every day from broker owners saying, hey, what can I do? How can I come together? And by the way, one of the things that we just came out of a strategy session yesterday, we're actually going to put together a plan. We're going to actually make it overt where small broker owners, we're kind of saying, if you're 50 agents or more and you want to move to eXp, we have some ways financially to make that actually work. And there's some questionnaires you basically have to agree, hey, I want to help build eXp as well. And if you do, and you're in cultural alignment, we'll actually help you financially get out of what you're doing so that you can be over with us. So just, so if you're considering a move, we have a lifeline, we have some money, we've got over $120 million in the bank. We have the ability to do that. And every agent and broker in eXp has the opportunity to have those conversations with those small broker owners that are going, what do I do? Well, we're actually putting a whole plan together to help get you and your agents aligned in the eXp system.
I love it. Thank you, Glenn. Great input. I've seen from all the hearts and the thumbs up, and they like what you just said. That was very good. Real quick, I'm going to slide John in. Again, he's our special guest. He just flew in to Toronto as the president of eXp Canada with Glenn, with Michael. John, real quick, 60, 90 seconds. Why did you come to eXp? You were selling 100 homes a year. You were a Mike Ferry superstar, elite producer. You're up in Vancouver, Canada. Each sale you do is pretty much $1 million. You're pretty much doing almost $100 million a year yourself. Then you'd come to eXp. Now you have over 1,000 agents in your revenue share organization, your sales organization. And then you're so successful, Glenn taps you on the shoulder and said, I'd be honored to have you to be my president of Canada. Just an amazing story. What is it you see about eXp? Why is it right for Canada and pretty much agents all over the globe?
You kind of just shared my story within 30 seconds there. So thank you, Brent. So, I was selling about 150 homes myself, but when you're doing that, you don't really have a life, and your only income when you're that focused is commissions. And I wanted multiple streams of income within the same, alignment in real estate. And how was I able to do that? Back then, eXp wasn't in my awareness. So I had to go to RE/MAX so I can get equity if I were to build a brokerage. Number two is recruit agents so I can create some revenue share. And number three is a KB core. They were going to give it to us for $1,200 a month. And it was going to cost me $500,000 to start up a RE/MAX franchise so I can get all the benefits that I wanted, multiple streams of income. And then eXp came along and I was like, wait a minute, you mean I can get all three benefits for $199 startup fee instead of $500,000? Sign me up, and I'm in, right? And today, right now, things are a little bit different, but with the eXp benefits, Brent, I was able to, and thank you, Glenn, able to go from 12-hour days, 7 days a week, to 4-hour days, 4 days a week. And because of that, I'm able to do this position right now. I got a call from Glenn himself, March the 6th, and he said, hey, John. I said, hey, how you doing, Glenn? He said, good, good, good. And then a long pause. And then he says, well, essentially you have a position opening. I'm like, oh, what's that? It's the president of eXp Realty Canada. And of course, I'm going to throw my hat over the wall to contribute. And, today, Glenn wants me in 5 Canadian cities a month, and we're doing events all over the place. So look out for us. We just went over 6,000 agents here in Canada, and we're starting to build a lot of momentum. eXp Canada, eXp Con Canada, September 6th to the 8th. Please register. We have limited tickets. Please, guys. And in Canada, if you ever need anything, I'm your guy. We're going to 10,000, baby. We'll see you soon.
I love it. Right on, John. Beautiful. You can see why Glenn tapped him on the shoulder. Now, Jay, real quick, I see you're unmuted. Did you want to chime in before we go to Michael, or? Oh, okay, good. Michael, we want to hear from you on 3 topics real quick, and we're going to ask Glenn to
Let's do it.
that. So we have commercial, luxury and international. Real quick commercial. Give us some updates on what's happening in the world of eXp commercial.
Commercial keeps exploding, Brent. It's amazing. We're attracting some amazing teams. We're getting really large teams going on. We have such a great offering for commercial. We are seeing now in this shifting market where a lot of these commercial agents are now stopping, taking a look at what our offering is and coming in and saying, oh my God, how did I miss this? And we're getting a lot of traction coming on commercial. On luxury, oh my God, what we're building. You know, I built most of my career in luxury, as you guys know, with Sotheby's, where I spent the majority of my career, and really coming in and looking at what we are doing. Now we're bringing deliverables, which are not available to anyone in the luxury market right now. And that's what's so exciting. We are coming in, especially being the largest independent real estate company on the planet, to be able to do this, to be able to now have that focus on luxury. And by the way, people start thinking about eXp and luxury and they're like, oh, they don't go together. Let me tell you something. Right now, we are celebrating all of the top sales that happen on a monthly basis. Last year, we had 3 sales over $20 million. We had the largest individual sale that has happened in the real estate side of eXp this year with Kurt Yang with $40 million representing the buyer in New York City. We are a luxury company. And that is what everyone needs to know, accept, embrace, because we are here. So that's exciting. And then internationally, oh my God, what we're doing internationally. We are doing so many things. eXp UK has now become one of the top 5 estate agencies in the entire country. South Africa, you guys were just there with Build Africa. In South Africa, we have almost 1,000 agents, 1,000 agents. There's over 5,000 estate agencies in the country of South Africa. We are number 8. Number 8 in less than 3 years. We are the fastest growing real estate company in the entire history of real estate in South Africa. We are doing some amazing things. Countries such as Spain and Italy and Portugal, they're all getting so strong. And you mentioned Dubai. Dubai is coming in. We have a strong presence in the Middle East with our first official month of operations in Dubai. We actually had one of the top sales in the entire eXp infrastructure, and that was over $10.5 million US. So these are the prices we're going to keep seeing in the Middle East. We have a lot of excitement coming on, and we introduced this. I teased this a little bit when I was with you guys in Cabo, but we're looking at how do we increase what eXp is doing on the international side, and how do we expand our global footprint. And right now, we are looking to partner with some key individuals and companies that have a footprint in countries where we may not be in yet, and looking and seeing how we can accelerate our growth internationally. We hired a great VP of global growth. His name is Thad Fisher. I've known him a long time, and he is great in this space. He's jumped right in. So we've got a lot of exciting stuff that we're going to be sharing with all of you very, very soon.
I love it. Thank you, Michael Valdes. You're amazing. You're a gift to this company, man. We love you. Glenn, I want to shift here, unless you want to jump in and say something about what Michael said. Please feel free to do that. But I want to talk a little bit about our partnerships, our strategic alliance and partnerships with healthcare, with Success Lending, and especially MyLink, MyLead. And so a little bit about that. So you take it where you want to go, and we got about 2 or 3 minutes for this segment. Go for it.
Yeah, one of the things that we've been able to do is we've developed, some amazing exclusive benefits for eXp over the years. We've done a lot of different things. We were the first company to do an enterprise deal with basically Inside Real Estate. It was actually conversion pre-IRE and KV Core. We did the first true health coverage platform for residential real estate agents in the industry through Clearwater Benefits. And so agents are saving thousands of dollars per year versus trying to go to the marketplace and actually get health insurance. And it's pretty incredible what we've done. We've negotiated an amazing exclusive pricing, and for all intents and purposes, we've kind of overwhelmed Realty.com with the number of new effectively customers that we've become, at least while we're continuing to kind of push that platform. And the things that I'm hearing from all of our agents that are using or generating leads through Realty.com is just phenomenal. We just spent, Leo, Michael, and myself, we were just in the offices of Homes.com a couple days ago, and the amazing stuff that they're doing. And we want to create a partnership because it democratizes the ability for agents to generate leads. And we think that there's some really cool stuff that we can do with that partnership, because they got bought by CoStar a couple of years ago. And so they've rebuilt the entire platform. We've got 2 or 3 other exclusives that we've negotiated that will be exclusive to eXp that are total game changers. And we think about this because, you know, I am, for all intents and purposes, going to battle. Michael, the whole team is going to battle on our agents' behalf to give them what I refer to as an unfair advantage in the marketplace. You know, the fact that we are the largest single real estate brokerage in the country gives us certain privileges and creates certain advantages that you just can't get anywhere else. Everybody else is either a franchise or they're, you know, substantially smaller than we are. They don't have the footprint. They don't have the ability to do a lot of the stuff. So we're doing that. This last year, we bought Zoocasa last year. We bought Showcase in 2020. We've been building out web portals for the company, but we've also been in the background going, what do we do that's different, unique, and innovative that can truly drive leads to our agents in a meaningful way? And so this year we're patent pending on MyLink, My Lead. So everybody's heard of My Listing, My Lead, right? But nobody's ever heard of MyLink, My Lead. MyLink, My Lead is for the internet marketing based agent, which every single agent should have a portion of their business dedicated to internet marketing, because it creates new inbound traffic to supplement your sphere of influence marketing campaigns that you do. It's still some of the lowest cost leads that you'll ever generate. Obviously, if you've got a great sphere, that's awesome. But in order to kind of keep things going and keep things moving forward, having an inbound strategy makes a ton of sense. So how do you do that? MyLink, My Lead gives you a tool to generate new leads in your marketplace. However, in virtually every other system, there's breakage in your lead generation strategy, because all you can do is typically promote your IDX with the listings that you're a party to because of your membership. eXp is one brokerage, all 50 states, Canada, et cetera. So we've actually developed a way where you can generate those inbound leads. However, you also are able to generate leads outside of your market area. They go into our ISA department, and effectively you get a check without having to do the additional work and legwork beyond just doing what you already do from a lead gen standpoint. So keep in mind, when I talk about this, I'm talking about this from somebody who actually understands internet marketing. I ran 6 real estate teams around the country at the top portals in cities around the US prior to starting eXp Realty. I generated over 100,000 leads. I was in the top 50 nationally in Keller in my 4th full year in the business, and I did it 100% on internet lead gen. So for those who understand lead gen, and I'm talking at a high level where you could potentially generate thousands, potentially tens of thousands, and with the right strategy, I believe that there's potential of generating hundreds of thousands of leads a year from one agent, one team, clear across the country, and be able to generate a significant additional stream of income. I did the math on what I think somebody could potentially earn from this, and it really truly could be as an additional stream of income in the millions of dollars a year for the internet marketer. And we're patent pending on that technology. Huge opportunity for the internet marketer out there.
It is very exciting. And I'd love, just real quick, Jay Kender, at one point selling 600 homes a year, John Sy, massive team, producer. Real quick, 30, 40 seconds each. What do you think about what Glenn just said about MyLink, My Lead, and just chime in for a second?
Oh, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, I've built my businesses off of lead generation. It's something that I do try to do for every agent. I've been on the phone all day with agents today, recruiting. I had 4 come over today. And every one of them are coming because we're helping them solve a problem. We're helping them solve a problem with how to lead generate. And then there's a ton of people out there that are just already really good at lead generation, and they're not doing anything with those leads. It's not an opportunity that ever really existed to try to refer those out and to manage that. It would be very difficult and time consuming to do. So they just lose that, as Glenn said, is slippage and breakage. So for those that are really good marketers, you'd be crazy not to be at eXp and take advantage of a great new opportunity, another new revenue stream that Glenn is providing for us. I love it.
Fantastic. I know Rich Tomasini just posted today. We took a gentleman from 40 million to 200 million. Shelly Johnson and Craig in Charlotte went from 40 million to 250 million. I mean, it is happening and people are coming like I've never seen before. They're tired of like, well, I can't work in that area because there's already someone who owns a franchise, or I have to ask for permission to open an office. I'm an independent contractor. Why do I have to ask for permission to open an office? And actually the franchise will not allow you to open an office because we have our franchise world, and that's impeding the ability of the independent contractor. At eXp, if you want to open an office, let's get that office open. Let's grow. You can do business anywhere. We've taken the blinders off. Okay, so I am going to come to Glenn real quick. Here's the big announcement. Now, a lot of you are on the inside and you're kind of savvy. You know this, but you'd be shocked how many people don't know this. And of course, we just uploaded, whatever the terminology is. I'll let Glenn give the right terminology to the S&P 600 small cap and why this is a big deal and why our stock's exploding. And so Glenn, would you speak to this a little bit?
Yeah, this was an incredibly surprising honor as a company. You know, I founded this company 13 and a half years ago. I was an agent in the field, pitching, buyers, generating. I didn't spend a lot of time on the list side, but I was in the field as an agent, 2002, 2003, started a team in 2004, started my own first independent brokerage in 2007 and eXp in 2009. And never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that our company that we were building from 2009 on would ever be part of an index fund that individual investors, companies, institutions, and others that want to get exposure to small cap companies, which historically have outperformed the market, we would be one of those 600 companies that would make up the index that you would be buying into when you buy into an index fund. And index funds, Warren Buffett says it. It says, if most people can't outperform the market, so buy an index fund. That's his advice. He's really good at individual stock selection, but we are one of 600 companies. We met the market cap requirement. We met the number of shares traded actively in the market, the float requirement, but more importantly, we were selected as one of the 600 companies to represent the overall economy of the United States. Effectively, it's the Standard & Poor's small cap 600 index, and you're selected. You don't get automatically awarded this, and it's another incredible honor. We started as a public company in 2013 as an over-the-counter bulletin board company. We were called a penny stock. It would never last. It was all smoke and mirrors. Then we uplisted to NASDAQ in 2018. Then we were picked up by the Russell 2000 and then 1000 index, and now the S&P 600 index. We have, I don't even know how many institutions that we have that currently own the stock, but it's significant. Yet at the same time, keep in mind that our brokers, agents, founders, and staff still own 70% of this company. You think about that. 70% is owned by us, the people who created and or are working on the front lines each and every day as agents. It's not Wall Street. It's not the, you look at, the competitors, even the up and coming competitors, and the small amount of the stock that's actually owned by their management team, it's incredibly small. I mean, our one that's nipping at our heels, I think their founder only owns like 3% of the company. There's no way he can influence the company to stay the direction of the agents with 3% ownership. It's just impossible. So, with us, the reason why we've been able to stay the course is because we've got, concentrated ownership position among our agents, brokers, staff, and founders that's allowed us to steer this ship, to keep it going in the right direction, making agent-centric decisions every day. And then on top of that, the cherry on top is that institutions are now even rewarding us for stewarding the company as well as we have over the last 13 and a half years. It's incredible.
That's awesome. Thank you, Glenn. Amazing. We're all super excited. We're grateful for what you've done for us. You've changed so many lives. Well, as we wrap this up today, I want to hit a question that a lot of prospects, guests, people thinking about moving to eXp. A lot of people are like, am I too late? And I believe we're around 87,000 agents, coming up on 90,000 real soon, but I think we have about 5% of the market. I don't know. Could you talk to a little bit about, because we both were talking earlier, if anything, your timing couldn't be better, but would you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I just got to see, like, Jimmy Mackin just spoke at an event that we were all at here a couple of days ago. And he talked about the fact that there's 1.6 million realtors in the United States today, and the U.S. where 75,000-ish agents in the U.S. or some, anyway, we're certainly in that range. And you look at that, we're 5% of all agents in the United States, and we're almost a rounding error for all agents worldwide. When you think about it, we've got another 10,000 agents or so internationally, and there's something like 20 million real estate professionals outside of the US and Canada. It's an incredibly open market, and we're changing lives all in each of these markets. But in the US, I mean, you think about the fact that 80% of the industry turns over every 5 years. And then if you work the numbers back, that means that we have 15,000 agents effectively at eXp that will still be here 5 years from now, mainly because they all got out of the business. And that's the industry stat. We are so early in the growth curve, it's not even funny. So anybody who says, and we hear it all the time, well, you missed the boat at eXp because you should have joined them like 5 years ago. Yeah. But like literally today is an amazing day to join eXp. We've got better systems, better process. You hit the ground running. We're not going to be making all the rookie mistakes we made in 2016, 17, 18, 19 on this run up, and you remember them. And we figured it out. So we're a safe place to be, and we've got blue ocean in front of us.
So I got to ask you this. By the way, we ran the numbers. It's 1 out of every 20 agents is an eXp agent in North America. 1 out of every 20. My friend, you are not too late. It's so exciting what's happening in commercial real estate, luxury real estate, regular old residential real estate. The opportunity, what we were was a prayer. What's the saying? At first they call you crazy, then they call you lucky, and then they call you for advice. And so we're in that category now. It's super exciting. But so 1 out of every 20, my gosh, it's incredible that there's so much energy out there and people are coming. It's great. So real quick, I got to hear from you. What is your aspirations for the next 5 years? Where do you see eXp? Just 1 minute, real quick, your aspirations, Glenn. Where do you see our company in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, we already are well on our way to becoming the most dominant real estate brokerage model, not just brokerage, in the U.S. And so we're going to grow here domestically for sure. We're going to get in that 200,000 range in the next few years in the U.S. But I think we can also get 200,000 plus agents internationally, and sort of add that together. And I still I know it's aspirational, and but it's an aspiration that I think is a real aspiration, which is I believe in the next 5 years or so, plus or minus, we'll be 500,000 agents worldwide. Like I seriously think it's not even in my mind a if, it's really a when. And other than the crystal ball of knowing exactly when, we're going to get there. And then if we think about the idea, if we become as large worldwide as we are in the US, what's 5% of 20 million? It's a million.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a million. That's
Thank
a
you.
million agents. We'd be five, and if you look at UK, Michael, what are we at in the UK? Like we're
over 400 agents in the UK.
And what's the market share?
The market share is over 5% at the moment, because the estate agencies in the UK are all very boutique and very small. We have one of the largest agent counts of any agency, of any estate agency in the United Kingdom. The same thing with South Africa, right? The largest company in South Africa is probably twice our size, which probably took them 5 decades to get to. So put it in perspective, we're at 1,000 agents, plus or minus, about to announce the 1,000. And that was just in 2.5 years. So think about that growth. It's amazing.
And the opportunity for agents, the beauty of North American real estate. And I'm going, I think this is the easiest country to get licensed. It's an easy country to actually become successful, because we have access to so many tools and technologies. And as a result, it's actually very, the commission structures at most firms are actually fairly favorable for agents in the US. Go international, that is not the case. It's so fragmented internationally, and we're bringing in technologies internationally they've never seen before. We're investing, that $120 million that we've got sitting on the balance sheet, the cash flow that we're generating in the company, the profitability, we're reinvesting it. You look at, I think we invested $14+ million internationally next year. We'll probably do something similar this year, probably do something again next year. We're investing for the long haul. We're not investing so we can show some big profit next quarter or next year. We want to change the lives of real estate agents around the planet.
I love it. I love it. Well, man, this has been so great today. I hope everyone's enjoyed this. So we have an action step for you. If you want to sell more real estate, we are going to have thousands of us gathering. We do this once a year. It's called Build. Glenn, are you going to be at Build this summer, July 10th, 11th, and 12th? Are you going to be at the beautiful JW Marriott Hill Country Resort in San Antonio, Glenn?
You know it. I am going to be there.
Right on. Michael Valdes is the president of Growth globally and nationwide. Are you going to be there?
It'd be really funny if I said no, wouldn't it, Brent?
Yeah,
of course I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, of course.
John Sy, the president of eXp Canada. John, you going to be there?
Let's go.
I love it. And Jay Kender, one of eXp's most successful. In fact, Jay, you're coming, right?
You know it. I'm closing it out, baby. I'm going to be there. I don't miss events.
Like I said, I called him Babe Ruth. He's our final speaker. Then we got a bunch of guest speaker powerhouses: Gary Brecka, Elena Cardone, Verl Workman, Bill Pipes, Jeb Blunt. He wrote the book Fanatical Prospecting. If you have any kind of reluctance to calling people for luxury real estate or commercial real estate, or just trying to get your business off the ground, that man in 1 hour is going to change your life. So scan this QR code, sign up today. The who's who, like, if you want to meet the board of directors, if you want to meet the vice presidents, the presidents, the high-level execs, the state brokers, the leaders at this company, they are coming together. It's going to be a life-changing event, and it's once a year. And I know for a fact I went to San Antonio 6 years ago, and there were 400 people. Remember that, Glenn? In fact, I think you and I were the only ones there 4 years ago. It was you and me 4 years ago. Or 6 years ago, and Jay wasn't even there, and Michael wasn't there, and John, but you and I came to meet you. I came to see if the culture was weird. And so if you're out there checking out eXp, come. If you're an eXp agent, bring a guest. I came, and I would not have done what I did had I not been to San Antonio 6 years ago. It's never convenient, and there's never just tons of money to buy an airline ticket and pay for an event ticket, but come. Jay, would you chime in on the power of this event and why you think it's a good idea for people to come?
Here's the thing. I know the agenda. I know the speakers. We have the top agents in the world at eXp. If you want to hear what they're doing in their business right now in this market to be successful, and you want to learn from the best of the best, and you want to rub shoulders with people that literally will suck you up to the next level, this is how you do it. You get to these events. I never miss events. I've always been a huge fan. It's where you get out of the minutia of the day-to-day business, and you get to really focus on working on the business and see what your next move is. And this is an opportunity. Bring a friend. It's certainly going to be amazing. I can't wait for it.
I love it. So let's pull that off real quick off the screen. I just want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank Glenn. I want to thank Michael. I want to thank John Sy, Jay. The future's yours. Go build it. But do not make the mistake of missing build. It's once a year. Don't wait till next year. Trust me, if you come and you didn't think it was 10 times better than you thought it would be, I'll gladly reimburse you your event ticket, just no questions asked. It's going to be life-changing. So anybody else want to chime in as we wrap this up today? Glenn, Michael, John, you guys good? Anybody want to? John, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit on build and events overall is that if you come to an event, you're going to meet the who's who. You're going to learn tips, tricks, strategies to double your business. And most of all, guys, proximity is power. Look at this room right now. You will see all of us there, and we're ready to go to the next level with you.
Yep, I love it. So
I just wanted to add also,
okay.
With Brent, you and Jay, thank you for your leadership. You guys are the ones that really within our organization are really the voice for so many agents. We're always here to help support, and your message that you bring, the lives that you guys touch, what you're doing so consistently, we're here to support. And I just wanted to thank you both for everything that you do to really change the lives of so many agents around the world.
Man, thank you. And I want to give a shout out to Elizabeth Riley, Jean and Susan Frederick, Robin Jen Flick, Scott Lewis, Tracy Gagnon, Dave Gagnon. There are so many, Sheila Fairzeran, so many amazing people that make this company go. I remember when I worked at RE/MAX and I worked at Keller Williams. I worked at RE/MAX and I worked at Keller Williams, and I did really well and loved it and everything. This is different. We own this together. We build this together. You guys haven't seen anything yet. The future's so bright. Hey, go to buildevent23.com. That's the website. Get your ticket, your hotel room today. We're going to sell out the hotel rooms. There will be no more hotel rooms. That is buildevent23.com. Go there, get your ticket, get your room. The rooms are going to sell out. We rented out the entire JW Marriott Hill Country. It's going to be powerful. Don't miss it. 2 18-hole golf courses, 10-acre swim park. We're going to have some fun. So we'll see you there July 10th through the 12th. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being on. We'll see you. Bye-bye.